Hi guys, I'm Ayushi, your legal mentor, and welcome to Law Digest. In today's special episode, we are going to deep dive into the life and responsibilities of a law officer. So, all of you who are aspiring to become a law officer at PSU like IOCL, and especially I am the recent vacancy, this video is meant for you. For those of you who don't know, I had the privilege of working for IOCL during the initial few years of my legal career, and the very first assignment that was given to me by my mentor pertained to a bitumen tender that was being handled by today's guest. So I found no other person better than him to speak about the role of a law officer. So without any further ado, let me welcome and introduce to you Rohit Kamble sir, who has been at IOCL since 2007. You'll be surprised to know that he got placed during he's an IELTS graduate and he got placed through the campus and he has been present at IOCL since then. He started as a law officer and now he's the chief manager of corporate affairs, and he's here with us to share his insights into the work, challenges, and the role of a law officer basically. So let's welcome him. Hi, sir. I feel so glad to have you here on this platform and really looking forward to share getting to know your experiences and your valuable insights on this role. Uh, Firstly, sir, we would like to understand from you what can one expect in the role of a law officer? What is a typical day like, and what are the roles and responsibilities that are assigned to a law officer?
Right. At the outset, good afternoon, Ayushi, and I thank you on behalf of Indian Oil for inviting me to this podcast. And it would be really great for us to share our experience as a law officer and to pass on the information to the candidates who aspire to work in a PSU structure like Indian Oil. Indian Oil, as you know, is a downstream public sector undertaking in oil and gas, and we are the largest player in the market, and we are spread across entire country and also have various subsidiaries and joint ventures outside India. And law plays a very crucial role in handling various gamut of activities which the corporation undertakes in the supply chain of the products across the country. In Indian Oil, the typical setup of law department is at various stages, right from the unit level or the state office level to the head office level, and then the corporate office level where I am presently posted. So in total, we are around 90 odd law officers spread across the corporation, and each unit, the head office and the corporate office, plays its different role. So if I talk about a unit level, that's the ground level office where all the field activity happens, and relating and most of the litigation part happens at the field office, that is the unit level or the state level. So the law officer at the unit level has to typically handle around 500 litigation at the state office level, and as they grow to the corporate office level, presently we have around 8,500 litigation that is going around. Then we have 300 arbitrations that are going around, and every year 1,000 litigation gets added and 1,000 litigation gets disposed of. So that's our average litigation profile. After handling litigations, then we have various drafting and vetting of contracts, handling arbitration and conciliation is there, providing legal opinions to the functional department is there, liaising with advocates, senior advocates are there, negotiating and review of contracts are there, acting as a quasi-judicial authority. This is one of the important roles that a law officer plays in while being a law officer. Then imparting training to our non-legal executives, framing of various policies, guidelines, and after all, then all miscellaneous works of handling MIS and all. So a law officer's role when he steps in his office and when he goes out, it's filled with a lot of activities. And I personally feel that from the day I've joined this corporation, there has not been a single day there has been no paper or no file on my table. It's always that when I go home that something or the other is pending, and it's always that it has to be closed. So people think that working in a PSU it's an easy job, but I would say it is equally challenging and equally adventurous to work as a law officer in a PSU because you handle so many different kinds of portfolios, which I feel that none other organization can substitute with organizations like Indian Oil because we are spread in so many fields. And even though a contract seem to be one terminology, but the offshoots of contracts are so much of different variety and different sectors, which when I interact with my counterparts in I would not compare with a law firm, but with a private organization or other public sectors, I feel that Indian gamut of activities gives a lot of exposure to a law officer and helps in building his character and the legal knowledge which he takes along the career towards his end.
Okay, okay. Sir, like a public sector undertaking like PSU, these PSUs are known for job stability. So, what kind of professional growth opportunities can a person expect at IOCL? Are there any opportunities within the organization as well? As we see, you yourself joined as a law officer, and today now you are the chief manager. So, how does it actually function for others?
Like uh, I remember still in my interview when I gave in my campus placement, and I was asked the question, "How long do you envisage yourself in a PSU?" And my I don't know whether a naive answer or candid answer, I said not more than 5 years. And they were like, 5 years, mein kaise? But then over a period of time, I don't know, like this year itself, I crossed 17 years in his organization. And time just flew. Along with that, the kind of experience that I have received, I personally believe I would have not got in any other organization than be it Indian Oil. The entry level in Indian Oil as a law officer is only at one stage that you enroll as a law officer, be it through campus like me or through PLAT, which is presently the structure of induction of a law officer. And then over there is a very clear cut promotion policy in the organization, not only for law officers but for the other officers also who join at the entry level. And with your experience and with your skills, with your knowledge, with your dedication, the officer grows in the hierarchy. And the highest post that a law officer can have is executive director in this organization. And if you are hardworking, if you are knowledgeable, if you are ready to give in your best, definitely you can reach the pinnacle of this organization,
Okay.
and which we are seeing in the current scenario.
Yeah. So, sir, speaking of growth, what are the skills that a young professional or a law graduate needs to have in order to be able to do justice to the role of a law officer?
See, at the outset, I think it is imperative that the law officer or any person who wants to join any organization as in the legal field should have a strong foundation of legal understanding. Without that, it would be really difficult to, even get inducted or to survive in this kind of organization. Second, I think if you are planning to join an organization like Indian Oil, then definitely you should have some knowledge about the regulatory environment relating to energy sector in India and the nuances of the disputes that take place in the energy sector. Third, I think a critical thinking and an aptitude of research, which is very much important that a law officer should have. Apart from that, I think drafting and communication skills is very much required because anything and everything you do comes down on paper. And lastly, he should work as a team and collaborate with the other functional department. That is also one of the important quality that a law officer should have
Mm.
while thinking to apply in organization like Indian Oil or a PSU or any other corporate sector.
Mm. Sir, it just struck me taking you back to your interview. Do you remember the kind of questions that were asked to you in the interview?
Yes,
Just
yes, I absolutely remember my interview went on for 55 minutes. There was a panel of five interviewers who were grilling us, and yeah, most of the part of the interview was on the subjective part. But I very vividly remember one question which they asked me, which I still don't know how I answered, but ultimately I found that that was the answer which got me this job. And it was relating, I can share with you, it was relating at a case that happened when I was in college. There was an officer in Indian Oil named Manjunath, murdered actually, and by goons in eastern UP, and on while he was on his official assignment. And then there was a lot of hue and cry. He was from IIM Lucknow, and there was a atmosphere of scarce amongst the field. And Indian Oil had to give its best to handle that case as an organization, since it was a offense against the society. So the prosecution was being handled by the public prosecutor. So one of the interview panel asked me, as a law officer, if you join, how will you do justice to Manjunath? And I was like stuck with this, like, how am I supposed to answer this question? And after thinking for some time, I asked them, can I think for some time? Then they said, yeah, sure. So then I just coined one answer in my mind. I didn't know whether it was right or wrong. So I just told them, I just took them from the criminal process, how it happens. I said, since it's a crime against the society, definitely the case would be handled by the prosecution and it's offense against the state. So the state has filed the case. But as a law officer, we can't just be sitting mum. So what in the capacity of law officer, what I would do, I would engage a best lawyer, a criminal lawyer. I would so that that criminal lawyer assists the public prosecutor in handling the prosecution. We can arrange to collect evidence or present the evidence before the court with the assistance of the senior criminal advocate, so that we can put our best. We can't go and fight in the court because it's a state case, but definitely whatever assistance from legal side is required, we would be in a position to give it, and we would definitely give that. So that was the answer I gave during that time, and I think probably no one. And that question was asked to many of my counterparts in the interview panel, and I think no one could answer that. It was not a right or wrong answer as such, but that was something I had to answer, and this is what I answered. And when I got that appointment letter, they were told that they were impressed with the kind of answer on this particular question that they had. So yes, definitely it was a good interview, and I really didn't expect to.
So basically, awareness around the current legal issues would also hold a
Absolutely. Yeah, because many people in that interview panel, I remember almost there were 17, 18 people who were shortlisted for the post, and half of them didn't know who Manjunath was.
Okay.
I don't blame them for not knowing it, but then maybe I knew it and I could answer that question. So that was a helping hand to me. And definitely in the interview, they will ask you like, presently though, like to give an example, mediation bill has already been promulgated 2023.
Yeah.
But the rules are yet to be framed. So definitely mediation is one area where government of India is focusing. As I told you, our case numbers are very huge. Almost 8,000, 8,500 cases are there. And we want to liquidate these cases and go towards the approach of amicable settlement rather than litigation. We want to do settlement of the cases. This is our approach now, the framework of the government of India as well as the corporation. So in this connection, definitely if a person is appearing for an interview like a law officer, he should know the current regime of latest jurisprudence, what is happening in the country, where the mindset of the government is there. Like India is being targeting herself to become the hub of arbitration. So definitely many things related to be it arbitration, conciliation, mediation, all these things need to be known by the law officers who are proposing to appear for the interview or appear for the exam.
Okay. Sir, like Indian Oil has offices throughout, like pan India, and as the advertisement says that you can be posted anywhere. So, are there any specific locations that are more sought after, and does this posting have an impact on your job?
See, I feel the mistake which I have done should not be done by the prospective candidate. The first mistake what I did, I sorted the posting near my hometown. So, and later on when you grow in life, that's where I have been posted outside my hometown. So it is always better that initial postings you take other way around, be far, so that two things it gets you. Your personality gets developed, you get independence, and I think if you have decided to work in an organization like Indian Oil or any other organization which has pan-India presence, I think posting should not be an hindrance. Reason being, the corporation takes care of the individual officers to the best possibilities. No difficulty, even if people are posted in Northeast also, like we have office in Guwahati, and people, even women have been posted in Guwahati who are based in from northern parts or the western parts, and when they have come back, they have given very good reports or very good picture of that location, because they get to learn so much things, and that helps their personality to grow. So I think posting wise, it should not be so much of rigidity because of the facilities that the corporation provides. It's unmatched to anything, and moreover, that helps you grow. Even I like to tell you very candidly, I was also very apprehensive to come out of my home posting. Home posting was from Bombay because of my nativity to the state. But I learned the moment I stepped out of my home state and came to Gujarat, my perception towards working and looking at the same thing which I used to do at Bombay, the same thing I'm doing at Ahmedabad, but with a different mindset, the different outlook, and the productivity actually increases. Similarly, from Ahmedabad, when I shifted to Delhi, the things you get to learn, the kind of people you interact, the kind of work you have, absolutely, it's a vast difference, and it enhances the working profile and also your personality towards looking at thing and your approach towards dealing a situation. So
Hmm.
I think this is my third posting and I'm open for the next postings also. And it really helps you in your working because the more you interact with different kind of people, the more you understand how a better way to look at a particular thing. So I
Hmm.
think posting should not be an issue. And initially, as I said, anyone who is planning to join, definitely if they do not have any family constraint, should not opt for their home posting. They should try to take a posting outside, and then after home posting, definitely depending upon the situation, corporation takes care of each and every individual officers.
All right. Sir, during your course of your journey of your legal career, you must have been exposed to a lot of lawyers, be it independent or be them working at a law firm. So, how do you think is a job at PSU like IOCL or any other PSU for that matter different from a private practice, a litigation practice, or working with a private firm as an in-house counsel within an MNC?
See, as an in-house counsel, you are exposed not only to one field of law but to a variety of fields of law.
Hmm.
Like I in Indian Oil, except for I think family matter, I think we have seen all courts, right
Hmm.
from the taluka level till the Supreme Court.
Hmm.
We have dealt with all kinds of lawyers. I personally had an opportunity to interact and brief along with our briefing counsels to Attorney General of India, to Solicitor General of India, to ASGs also, to name a senior advocate to whom we can engage, be it from criminal side or civil side. This kind of exposure is very difficult or very rare in a private
Hmm.
sector MNC.
Hmm.
That's one stark difference.
Hmm.
Second, the quantum of work you have in a PSU like Indian Oil, it's so vast and so different. Just to name a few, we are handling aviation sector, so we
Hmm.
know how aviation sector works. Different kinds of contracts, different kind of litigation. We are into shipping business in the sense to arrange crude from outside. So we have to hire ships, so we know what charter
Hmm.
party is, how the damages are worked out, how if an accident happens, how to deal with it. So we know the shipping industry.
Hmm.
We are into so much of IT infrastructure because without IT nothing can work. You have
Hmm.
your so many development, entire your plants, your refineries are backed up by IT. So we know all IT contracts. CGD network, that is city gas distribution. We know about that. Then you come to retail, you come to LPG, you come to optimization, you come to international trade.
Hmm.
I think Indian Oil is a kind of an organization where the different kind of contracts under different heads. I can, if I start counting, I don't think so any organization, compared to any MNCs will have different varieties of contract than Indian Oil or a similar company like Indian Oil. So, like we are into renewable energies, we are into LNG. So each kind of subjects have different kinds of contracts, and that helps us, understand, deal with so different variety of subjects, which cannot be compared to even a law firm. Okay, law firms have a different kind of environment set. They cater to external clients. But even in law firm, if you see a particular vertical is there, like for example, you have a vertical of projects in oil and gas, you have projects in maybe a construction sector, you have a real estate head. So they are aligned to only that structure. But when it comes to Indian Oil, a law officer doesn't look only at one segment, he looks the entire spectrum of activities of law related to the corporation. So that's how I would say it's the comparison cannot be done, but definitely a law officer in a PSU like Indian Oil has seen much more things as the broad spectrum than any other organization officer can see. So
Hmm.
definitely, I would say the kind of work what we are doing here is next to any big MNCs in the world who are there at our competition.
Hmm. So as you spoke about the exposure at IOCL, and a person would at the same time get an idea that uh, we will be busy in our days during our PSU job. Although government jobs are known for you getting some time away and being a 9 to 5 job and those kinds of things. Having worked with IOCL myself, I've seen the kind of exposure that people get there and the variety of matters that we handle. So at the same time, we would want to understand from you how is the work-life balance at a PSU like IOCL?
See, I would not say that it is extremely easy, and I would not say it is extremely difficult. Definitely, there is a work-life balance
Hmm.
within a PSU. But the old age era where a PSU 95, 9 to 5 job, that concept is not there
No.
anymore in
Hmm.
PSU like Indian Oil, to be
Hmm.
very frank. Yes, as and when there is a requirement of an officer, maybe a personal front or his own front, then the corporation definitely takes care of the
Hmm.
officer. And there are leaves are there are planned leaves are there are unplanned leaves are there. There are various kinds of activities that the corporation allows the officer to do, especially for your personal developments. You are allowed to take different courses. There are tie-ups with IIMs, there are tie-ups with various other colleges where you are allowed to go and pursue your further studies and also develop yourself there.
Hmm.
But the age-old culture that 9 to 5 and then go home, that thing has gone, especially
Hmm.
after the COVID. That work from home concept has
Hmm.
started now.
Yeah.
Everything have been given, and the entire desktop or the things are on cloud, and we have to work as and when the demand is there. You have to work from home also. You have to
Hmm.
work on a weekend also. But I would not say it is that every day like you work for
Or a
24 hours.
toxic sort of
No,
working.
absolutely not. I don't think so. Toxicity is anywhere close to an organization like PSU. And
Yes.
touch wood, this has not been now, but I think I have seen for 17 years and before that also. Whatever I have heard is that absolutely the safest place for women, for men, and for any person to work in.
Definitely.
And the HR policies are so human in nature that it really helps total growth of an officer in his professional life also and personal life also.
Hmm.
But that having said that, it doesn't mean that one becomes complacent.
Hmm.
Definitely, as and when the work demands, you have to put in your best. It's not that every time you have to burn the midnight oil, but definitely there are times where you have to go an extra mile and put an extra effort. The situation demands that way. Like, to just give an example, there was a accident which was there, a fire accident, and it was something which had happened for the first time in the history of the corporation. So definitely at that time, people had to work an extra and to combat the situation, to deal with it, and to see that the supply is not affected to the market. So there are situations where you have to work, and obviously there are times where you are given a good number of holidays. You're medically you are taken care of, your family is taken care of, you have a lot of facilities are there. So work-life balance is absolutely there, but the concept of 9 to 5 is not there. I would put it
Hmm.
that has changed, and it has changed for the good. See, because if you want to survive in this market, you have to be competitive. You have to be hardworking. Only then the survival is there.
Hmm.
And to be a
Correct.
market leader, you have to do something different from the others.
Yes.
If you do not have these qualities, or if your organization people are not able to put in this, then you would be just like a sick PSU, which no one definitely wants in this
Yes.
organization. So, as an officer, you have nurtured in that way. In fact, our there are core values of Indian Oil. So earlier there were only four: care, trust, passion, innovation. And just last year we had added one more core value, that is nation first. So that is how we look, and that is how the officers are trained. That the first you have to look for your nation, thereafter then care, trust, passion, and innovation follows. So
Right.
that's how the PSU culture, and we have been groomed up, and that's how we take the challenges whenever they come. And absolutely, we don't feel any burden in putting in extra effort because the corporation does so much for you. It
Hmm.
is we are obligated to do much more for the corporation because ultimately you're doing for the nation, you're doing for the country.
Yes. All right, sir. That was great to hear. What are the final tips or the final advice that you would want to give to these young professionals?
See, I think the as I just said, the entry to law officers in Indian Oil is through CLAT. So I think the first and foremost, the candidates have to thoroughly prepare for the exam, which is the most important thing. Then you should have a very strong foundation in contract law, commercial law, and regulatory frameworks.
Hmm.
Gain a deep understanding of energy sector, both conventional and renewable energy. That will actually provide you an edge when you come to the interview,
Hmm.
and develop critical thinking. That is much more important. And whatever the legal developments are happening in corporate and industrial sector, you should be aware of it. That will help you a lot. And as I said earlier, that collaboration and critical thinking, research, drafting,
Hmm.
communication skills,
Hmm.
these are the key factors that would be helpful for an officer or to the candidate to take their strides in an organization in an eye.
All right, all right. Thank you, sir, so much for sharing your journey and expertise with us. It was great reconnecting with you and hearing from you. And I'm sure the students who are preparing for this examination, the professionals, they will really make out from this invaluable session and it will really help them. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time for this session.
Thank you, Ayushi. I think you are doing a very noble cause, and definitely I wish you the very best for your success.
Thank you so
And
much, sir.
with your kind of approach, I think definitely the students will, more than me or anyone like us, your approach and your hard work will definitely help them, be a part of organizations like Indian Oil and do the best for the nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good day.
Same to you, sir. So, guys, I hope this session was of use to you and you got clarity on a lot of aspects which sir clearly entailed for us. In case there are any further queries, you can mention the same in the comment box below and we will get them resolved for you. Further, for more such videos, to stay updated with the legal industry, make sure that you are following us here as well as on Instagram and also subscribe to our channel.